and welcome. Today I wanted to talk about Emily Henry's two books, Happy Place and Peach Reads. I wanted to compare the two books. I'm the person who never reads romance, but the book Happy Place was all over the place. It was suggested online. So many reviewers were telling good things about this, and I decided to read romance for like maybe second time in my life, and I really liked it. So I'm here to compare the two books and to talk about it a little bit. First, I wanted to talk about Beach Read. It's a book about the main character named January. She's a young woman who writes romance, and her father recently had passed away, and after he passed away she finds out that he was cheating on her mom. There was no closure. She couldn't ask any questions. She couldn't confront him and ask him why he was doing that, because all of her books were based on the romance that she saw between her parents. She now has this writer's block. She hasn't been publishing books in over a year, and she's broke. She doesn't know what to do, so she goes to the lake house that was left to her by her father. The problem is that the lake house belonged to the father and his mistress. On top of that, when she arrives there, she finds out that she is a neighbor with this guy named Gus, and they were what she thinks they were rivals in college. They were both in literature class, and they didn't talk to each other a lot, and he was just like very annoying and stuff like that. But he's also an accomplished writer. He published several books, but his is like kind of like dark fiction when hers is romance. So they go into this debate and they decide to make a bet about who will to kind of prove that it's hard to write romance books and hard to write dark fiction, so they swap. And so now she's writing about dark fiction and he's writing about romance. So they go to hang out, to kind of show each other what they do to write the book. So she brings him on this romantic non-dates, and then he brings her to do a research on his book. And so that's how the story goes. I'm going to get into spoilers later in the review, just for those who hasn't read the books and who wants to read the book. I don't want to spoil it now. What I liked about this book is that the dialogue was absolutely awesome. It was so funny. I was laughing out loud so much. It was so well done. It wasn't anything cringy. It was a little bit cheesy, but I kind of liked it, and it's coming from a person who doesn't read romance. And on the negatives, I don't have a lot of negatives on this book. I thought the pacing was really well done. Again, I said I think one of my negatives is that it was cheesy. One of the moments is when she finds one of the belongings in the house that kind of reveals more about her father. I thought that scene was a little bit cheesy. But again, it's like not really a negative. It's just something that I thought could have been done a little bit better. And now I'll talk about Happy Place. Happy Place was published in 2023, and this book follows three college friends that then group grows, and it becomes the group of 6 people who are now adults. They gather every summer at this lake house to hang out, and they call it Happy Place. And the main character, Harriet, she's studying to be a brain surgeon. She and another person in the group, when they actually formed a couple, and they've been together for 8 years. They've been engaged, but they broke up, and it's been 5 months, and they haven't told their friends. And so now their friends calling to get them to hang out in this house again, and it's their last time because the house is being sold, so they absolutely have to go, and they don't want to ruin it, and so they pretend to be together. So it's a second chance romance, and it kind of just follows the events that are happening in the present, and then it follows the events that happened in the past that led them to where they are in present, obviously. And so this book also talks about the friendships, it talks about family issues, but the main question that this book is asking is that who I want to be, and am I happy? And even though the cover is like all just like fun and pink and like people jumping around, I think they're jumping in the lake, the book is not that fun. The book is serious, it covers serious topics, and I think this book was a little bit harder to read compared to Beach Read. So much more fun, and it was a book about the couple that is being formed compared to Happy Place, where there is the second chance, so they have like this baggage that they kind of like talk about or they think about it, and so they go into this a little bit deeper. So now I'll go into spoilers. So spoilers, please turn off if you didn't want to know about that. Both books, they end up with couples staying together or being together. With Beach Reads, it was very natural, the pacing was well done, the story was lined up very well. There were some heavy topics that were discussed, like about grief, about family matters as well, how like the main character Gus, he was damaged when he was little, and also the main character January, how all of her trust was betrayed, how her parents betrayed her trust by not telling her about the events that happened between them, and how she couldn't pretty much believe in love anymore. But so it still ends happily, they stay together, and I thought it's a very natural and very good ending. Compared to Happy Place, they also stay together, and what I really didn't like about the book is that she was training to be a brain surgeon, and she has so much debt, she has so many years invested in this, and then she asks herself, am I happy? And the answer is no. And so she goes and she decides to work in this pottery shop, and I'm not saying that it's bad to work in the pottery shop, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that when the book is written and when the person asking this question, I think maybe there should be like, maybe she shouldn't have been a brain surgeon. I don't know, I just feel like there is so much to give up, and I think that's what the author was going for, but it just felt so, it felt like she sacrificed so much for him, and she just gave up her professional career and everything, and it seemed like at that moment she was just so very tired of it that she just needed a break and maybe not giving up, but instead she kind of like decided to go a different path and decided to be happy with this person. And it's a really good ending, and it's really cool that she works in the pottery shop now, she does what she loves. But again, I thought it's such a drastic change, and I thought that all of these years that she's been working, she never realized how unhappy she was, and for her to make this change with so many years accumulated there, the change was so fast, and it was just, I don't know, I felt like it should have been at least like maybe written over longer time, like the way she was making the decisions. But yeah, it was like so fast and very unexpected. I didn't think that that's where the book was going. I watched the interview with Emily Henry, and she said, no, that's where I always knew that the book was going there. So I was just surprised that that's where it ended up. And also I didn't like the ending, like the main character Harriet, she goes to the airport and she was almost boarding the plane, and then she's like, no, I have to be with this person. So she turns around and runs out of the airport, and then he's standing there outside of the airport, and he rushes to her, and then they meet, and then they stay together. And I know that the author was going for this kind of, maybe I think what the author was going for is that like that they made this decision together, that they were equal, and that she didn't give up all of her to be with him. But again, like it didn't feel very natural, it felt like forced. I wasn't a big fan how it ended, and that's why Happy Place I thought is a little bit lower on my rating than Beach Reads, that I absolutely enjoyed. So that's all I wanted to say about these two books. I would definitely recommend checking it out, and thank you so much for watching.